Okay, YouTube, back on my 40cc dirt bike. It's a 4-stroke. What we're doing today is we got this cut open half-gallon of milk. That's gonna be our oil drain bowl, or whatever you want to call it. And we got some of this here, 1040 for whatever reason. This is what my wife brought. I ain't worried about it much. Gonna put it in there. What we got going on here is I took apart this little diaphragm carburetor and cleaned it. Um, but what I failed to realize was the pumper part of it was stiff after I watched the video. And basically what happened is it kept the carburetor like open with fuel flowing into the motor, and then the motor filled up with oil. I mean gas, excuse me, gas. The gas filled up the motor. So when I went to take the oil plug out to check the oil, it just like gushed out of there. I made a big mess over here, but so what we're gonna do is we're gonna be turning this bike around, and we're gonna set this jug up, and we're gonna drain all of that out of there and put in some fresh up in there. Um, I don't know if this thing still has gas in it. It might have all drained out, but it might still be some. I don't know. Yeah, see it done drained it all up out of there. All gone. Just a little bit in the corners, but it done just drained. This is looking good in there now. It was all rusty. I took and soaked this tank with vinegar, put some boats in it. So yeah, it done pretty much drained all of it into the crankcase with the oil. So stay tuned for a second. I'll be right back. Okay. See, I got that set up under it. See, this here is and I got it pretty much. See, I got a little foot peg under the kickstand to try to make it sit up straight. But first thing I'm gonna do for y'all is open this here. This is the oil fill, I guess, and we're gonna open that, get a look in there. So, okay, set this right here. But that's what it looks like. See how that looks. Now, see that coming out of there. I believe this to be the drain. So to make quick work of this, I got my impact here. I'm just gonna impact it off. Turning this here steering wheel to the other side. Can't really get it in there. See if we can get this done here. There we go. Okay, here we go. See that there? That is straight gas, not oil. Turning into some oil now, I guess. But that was straight gas. I don't know if y'all can see that. Gas in the oil. Oh, that is straight gas. That's not oil. Straight gas. I don't think no oil came out still. I think this is all gas. Look at that. That's gas. It's crazy. I ordered a new one of these diaphragm carburetors, a better one with the tunable screw here. I believe it to be the same size, 11 millimeter. It said 40 cc, 35 cc, and stuff like that on the ad. So hopefully that's the right one. Still a little gas in this thing, but that's all that's coming off because I don't want this problem again. I don't know what would happen if you ran with gas in your oil, but this is gas. That's that's gas. I don't know what it would smell like in a two-stroke, but you can run that in a two-stroke. Um, I'm gonna continue to mess with this. Finish draining it. I don't want to make a mess, so I'm gonna pick it up and make sure it's all drained. And then, like I say, we're gonna throw some of this in it and get ready for this fresh carburetor because that has to be the problem. It filled up with gas. See that? That's gas. That ain't oil. Yeah. So let me see about getting the rest of this gas out of here. Yeah. So I drank the rest of it out. It wasn't much more in there, but yeah, there's no oil velocity with that at all. That's just like gas. I guess I don't really need to show putting no oil in this motor. From my knowledge, I'm just gonna fill it up till I see it running out of this here where you put the oil plug in. So that at least that's how I do it on Predators. I believe that'll be right. I may look it up and find out, but that's basically what I'm gonna do. After thinking about it, I guess these motors are small, so it really not a lot of oil that goes in them. So maybe the gas just was eating on it a little bit or something, but I don't feel like there's much oil there at all. That looks like straight gas. But this is a 40cc dirt bike, a little four-stroke. Got overhead valve engine there. And what happened was is this old diaphragm carburetor, I took it apart and cleaned it. I got this thing to run good, but I left it leaning over for a couple days, and when I came back, there was a puddle under it. And what it was doing is this bolt over here. This is like that's the oil vent tube. So it was just puking out of there basically. It was just puking out of there, leaking out of the carburetor, um, carburetor cover. But yeah. So it was just filling the motor up with gas. And that's the end result. Like, this isn't oil. That's too movie. So we try to get this back together. We'll come back with a running video. And set this all back up. Put this here back in there. Got the drain plug back in it. Go ahead and fill it up, and then I could throw this plug back on it. Um, and then this thing be ready to go. Find somewhere to get rid of this. Clean up the bottom of the motor a little bit. Clean up the frame where I built that stuff at. But that's where we at. Last resort, I guess if it was any gummed up oil up in there, I guess it cleaned it out. But so if anybody ever having a problem with these little diaphragm carburetors, it's probably cheaper and better to just buy one of those carburetors with the little pumper bowl on it. Probably better to just buy a new one for $8 or $10 or $11 on Amazon compared to flooding your engine out and having to do oil changes and not having might hyper lock your engine or hydro lock it or whatever. I don't, you don't want to deal with that type of stuff. So let's give it a couple pulls here. We pull it. Start it up off easy pull. So we're gonna go ahead and put some oil back in it. I shouldn't have been starting it up while the oil wasn't in it, but just want to make sure that everything is everything with it. That thing started up very easy. Now I don't know. It might be then made that thing because there's a little bit of fuel in here still, but maybe because it's not no fuel up top flowing down, making it flow. It didn't do nothing, but yeah, that's where we at. That thing started up easy on this. Pulled it real easy, and it comes right alive. Um, yeah, I shouldn't have been starting it up with no oil in it though. Maybe it's because it has fuel at the top or something. But I was thinking like maybe that thing would free up with gas running through it all the time. Maybe it would make it softer and free up that little pumper bowl, but I'm gonna just do out with it. Like I say, I got the one coming that's got the adjustable screw here, or this is usually your air fuel screw, because you see this here is that's your adjustment for your idle on your throttle. See, that's how you adjust your idle. So usually right here will be a screw you could turn in or out, and that'll be the air fuel mixture. So we got one of those coming. We'll be all right. Let me clean all this up and fill this thing back up with oil, and I go from there. Thanks for watching.